Boom. I'm live. All right, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, or if you're watching on the replay, welcome back to the show. So I got a tasty, delicious stream again tonight. Kind of continuation of the previous stream that I did, which was titled, guys, what was that even titled? Hold on, guys. I think it was about the Industrial Revolution. Good grief, Josh. Good grief. It was something along the lines of the destruction that is accompanied via results of the Industrial Revolution. Okay, it was called Consequences of the Industrial Revolution has been disastrous for humanity. Okay. Boom. Christian Soto in the house. We live in a society. Big Mac emojis in the chat. You guys can tell I'm all over the place right now. Christian, speaking of Big Mac emojis, dude, did you know? It's gonna happen again on when I do it right now. Did you know that I got a slap on the wrist for playing this, Christian?
1 year, one Big Mac, $1 million. This summer, Joe Biden, Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell are super inflators.
I don't even know how I got a strike. Yeah, that's original content. Literally original content, voice and everything. These people don't know what they're talking about. Speaking of fucking people, guys, let's get into the actual show. So, previous stream I did, guys, did a stream on the disastrous results of the Industrial Revolution, right? There's a lot of people that came in here and they were like,
actually, it's not the Industrial.
Okay, I know. Somebody I think can think about in particular, a black sheep, or was that you, or was that somebody? A few people, but one person in particular kept trying to say that it wasn't because of the Industrial Revolution, and I agreed in half with what they said. But the fact of the matter is, the Industrial Revolution allowed modernity to be where it is at today. Okay, and I'm going to preface the stream by letting you guys know and like declaring it for myself included. I am no saint, guys. I've made a lot of mistakes in life continually. I made one really big mistake repeatedly for 10 years. I can't tell you how disastrous this mistake has been to my life. I've made plenty of other mistakes, up to including mistakes up to a half a year ago. Probably every single day I make mistakes, okay? Mistakes I don't even know. But I'm not excluding myself from everything that I'm going to talk about tonight. However, I do know that when I'm part of the problem, that I'm being a part of the problem. It doesn't make me proud. It actually makes me want to not be a part of the problem. And I think that if we can all kind of maybe embody that type of thinking, then we can potentially change people's mindsets, or at least our own mindsets, to have a better, brighter future. Because trust me, I want a better, brighter future. I'm sure most of you guys do. I, for one, actually want to have a family. I know it's crazy, right? To be a 31-year-old bachelor living in Miami, Florida, who makes a decently sufficient amount of money and has the liberty to do what they want to do in life. It's crazy that I want to have a family, but I do. And I always have wanted to have a family. And that brings me to the number one thing that I want to talk about, or the first thing, not number one. Everything that I'm going to talk about is not in particular order, right? The first thing I want to talk about is family. What is the issue with family in modern society? Because since I forgot to mention the topic of the stream is, what the fuck is wrong with modern society? So on my previous stream, I already talked about modern families, right, guys? And like I said, as someone who wants to have a family someday, this part is important to me. So let's take a mental look back, and hopefully I don't need to like show statistics and data for everything here. Let's take a mental look back into 20 years ago. So right now we're in the year 2023. It is August 14th, 2023. If we go to August 14th, 2003, at least families portrayed. Let's just go with the media. Families in the media. So what is a famous? Let me Google this. Famous movies 2023 or 2003. Excuse me, 2003. Let's take a look at this, guys. Why don't you help me pick what movie we're gonna look at? Let's take a look. You guys pick a family-oriented movie here. All right, what we got? We got Memories of Murder, Lost in Translation, 13, The Hunted, Barbie, I'm a Barbie girl, Monster, Uptown Girls, Bright Future, What a Girl Wants, Swimming Pool, Big Fish, Last Samurai. What's like a Disney movie in the Cheaper by the Dozen? Okay, Cheaper by the Dozen. Cheaper by the Dozen. What is the plot of Cheaper by the Dozen? Cheaper by the Dozen is a 2003 American family comedy. I know you guys are seeing. Oh, you can't see this. 2003, a family comedy directed by Sean Levy. It is a remake of the 1950 film of the same name. Both films were inspired by the semi-autobiographical book Cheaper by the Dozen by Frank Bunker, blah, 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 and his sister. It stars all these people outside of a couple passing mentions of the blah, blah, blah name. A film has little connection to the original source material. Okay, so let's do this, guys. It's about a Cheaper by the Dozen. There we go. It's about a family that has a dozen kids or something like that, right? Let's actually look for, let me see if I can find Cheaper by the Dozen best scenes. All right, let's do this. Okay. Let's take a peek. All right, guys. You guys want to watch Cheaper by the Dozen best scenes? So we're gonna, and by the way, guys, this is an experiment, okay? And I didn't research this at all. I'm using my brain here and common sense. A little thought project here. So we're gonna watch this movie, this family movie, because it's rated. What was it? Let me. What was Cheaper by the Dozen rated? Certainly wasn't rated R. I'll tell you that much. PG. Okay, PG. Not even PG-13. Fucking PG. A bowl of stew in the house. A new phone. Who dis? What up, player? Kyle in the house. Who dat? Cheaper by the Dozen is that, my friend? All right, so let's watch this clips, guys. And this is like what, 2 minutes? We'll speed through this, and I want you guys yourselves to go ahead and look at these clips and tell me, what do you think is being portrayed as? Not, and obviously a family of 12 is not the average family, right? But what do you guys think families were portrayed like back 20 years ago? Okay, so let's do this. And hopefully, did I share sound? Probably not. Got to do that, don't we? Oh, I did. Oh, but I did. All right, let's watch it.
Nigel hit him with a dart, and I assume he will be punished.
Jake, get me a Band-Aid, okay? Here, go stir. You like to stir. Here, let's take a look at it. Let's see if it's okay. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's actually not.
Dad?
Yeah.
This goo's on fire.
Oh, no, that's the way Daddy likes it. Nice and hot and nice and spicy. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Got it. All right.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, good. Can you get a Band-Aid?
No need to say hello.
Not one other kid in this neighborhood does chores.
Well, we're not like any other family in the neighborhood.
Right, so...
Yeah, because there's
why
12
are
of
we
y'all.
here?
Dishwasher now. Jessica, can you get these plates and put them on the table, please?
What the? Mike's athletic cup? Ow!
Oh. Pasta de la crotch.
Is that blood?
No, it's just like...
Blood.
Oh. Clean up on aisle 12. Anybody?
You'll need help cleaning up. I'm in puke.
Are you all right?
Still need help cleaning up, Dad.
No, you mopped it up enough with your back. Oh, disgusting. Where's the Band-Aid?
Oh man, they don't make movies like this anymore, do they?
Oh, here, let me. Nora, where's that Band-Aid?
Jake put a bucket on Jessica's head and it stuck. And when they have a free moment, let my parents know that I came by to tell them I got a job in an ad agency today.
Nora. Nora.
I'm assuming that's an older sister, right? Not the wife.
Help here.
Nora. Nora. Oh. Are you all right?
You are in over your head, mister.
I'm so sorry. I will call. My wife is out of town. Hey.
Can I kill Jake now?
No, you finish washing the car first.
All right. So go to Moose and the Hoose. Everybody sucks. That should have been the name of the stream. Bullis 2, the dad's portrayed as incapable like most fathers in media. That is true. Most fathers in media are portrayed as stupid and incapable, right? Perfect example, Homer Simpson, whatever his name is from Family Guy, Stan Marsh. Literally insert every father head of the household name into here. That is true. But, and that may, Stu, that may very well have been what this movie was portraying as the father. But I wasn't thinking about the father so much. I mean, we know it's Hollywood. There's an agenda, right? But 20 years ago, okay, 20 years ago, the agenda was way less verbose. It was way more covert and way less overt. Now, we didn't watch the entire movie, so we're not going to get the entire consensus of it. But let me tell you guys what I saw. I saw a family living in one single household, right? That right there, my friends, I'm going to say in 2023, that alone, okay, is no longer a commonality, in my opinion. You can disagree with that. I'm going to say that that's no longer a commonality. Another thing I saw was the father taking charge of a lot of things. He was telling kids, do this, do that, do this, do that. He wasn't just being a absent father, like they called him, right? And finally, the third thing that stuck out to me was, I'm assuming that was an older sister, not his wife. And she went up to her dad and said, blah, 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 and then told the dad that she's getting a job at a ad agency. And you could tell immediately the father was not okay with that, because he immediately like chased after her, was like, no, stop. Don't, I got to talk to you about something, right? Because I'm assuming he's going to tell her that was a bad thing to do. It was a bad idea. That most, like nowadays, guys, it is considered normal to sell for girls to sell feet pics. Sugar babies are like considered normal, at least in Miami, Florida. I mean, if we're all being serious and honest to ourselves, we all know it's not normal, right? But let me tell, and on the sugar baby thing, let me tell you guys a funny story about last weekend. Okay, so last weekend I went out on my jet ski and I brought a girlfriend of mine, not a girlfriend, but a girl who was a friend of mine. And we both drove to this island that's in the bay in Miami. And there's a couple little islands in the bay. And there's people always parked at the islands drinking, listening to music, blah, 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 blah. So we parked there, and there's this dude who pulls up in a jet ski, and the dude's at least like 65. He's like a 65-year-old white dude, clearly old, right? And he pulls up on the back of the jet ski, and this girl had to have been at least 18. She was black, right? She was a black girl. He was a white guy. So the first thing I was like, okay, that's definitely not his daughter. That's definitely not his family member, right? And then they get off the jet ski, they start drinking, and they just like start making out in the water. And it just became apparent. The girl I was even with was even like, whoa, that's so obvious that she was embarrassed for them. But anyway, that's a commonality around here, right? So selling feet pics, sugar dating, OnlyFans, any way that girls can monetize their sexuality that's just normal now, right? The father in this movie, just the fact that his younger daughter was going to be a model for an ad agency, he was like, I got to say something to her, right? All those things 20 years ago, none of all those things now, those things that I mentioned versus 20 years ago, normal. Now, the inverse, right? The inverse of that. Or you could say 20 years ago, the other things that I mentioned are not normal. Now it's the inverse, right? So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about in regards to family. So past 20 years ago now, and then we got to think 20 years in the future. And I think, well, we may as well get onto that right now. So 20 years in the future, do you guys think that families will even be anything remotely close to how they were in 2003 in, let's say, 2043? Do you guys think there will be anything close to how they are now in 2043? Do you guys think that there will even be families? Because if you guys will go ahead and take a look at your screen, I have some bad news for you. Thank you for the ads. Good old usanews.com. All right. So here is from January 10th of this year. U.S. birth rates continue to fall. Now, there's birth rates in the West are the lowest, the Western countries. So like Japan, even though Japan's not literally like physically in the West. Japan, all of the European Union that's considered westernized, United States, and let's not consider like any South American countries, because I wouldn't really say that they're like westernized. They're Aurelian would have to give me an answer to that. Aurelian, if you're watching the stream, let me know if you considered Central and South America westernized, even like Mexico. I want to know your opinion on that. I would trust your opinion more than anything. Cody Moose and Who's just going to say, like, everybody loves Raymond. Yeah, that's similar to what Sue said. So all these countries that are in the West have the lowest birth rates compared to countries that have the highest birth rates, which this is going to surprise you guys. Maybe it won't. Iran, almost every country in Africa that seems to be under constant turmoil, they all have astonishingly high birth rates. Go figure. I wonder why. It might be because society is a little more like different over there. Not that that's a good thing that we want that, but the exact opposite of how it is in the West, right? So continuing a decade-long trend. So this has been going on for more than a decade, or at least a decade, right? Excuse me, had to drink, guys. The percentage of American women who've had a child declined again in the latest figures from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. You know those people, the CDC people. A lower percentage of women aged 15 to 44 in 2015 and 2019 have ever had a biological child, 52.1% compared to women aged 15 to 44 in 2011 to 2015. So it's been down by more than 2.5%. So do we say that that's about a 2.8% drop per 5 years? Declines have also seen for men becoming fathers from 39% of boys, men aged 14. So more women have kids than men have kids. Isn't that kind of strange? I wonder why that is, because you'd think it would be the inverse. You would think it would be the inverse. Cody Moose and Who's hot take: creating a functional family is now the counterculture and will make a resurgence. I would say that it is a counterculture. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, he wants a family. How misogynistic. Looks like Christian Soto agrees with you. Jacob Castro in the Who's. What up, dude? Is this the Black Pilled cast? Yes, it is. That's why I got the black shirt on and the black curtains back behind us in the background. This is the Black Pilled stream tonight, guys. This is the Black Pilled stream. I don't know if we would say it's quite black pilled. We'll just say we can't use that red, the pill, the crimson color. We can't use that term on here because that's just bad. Okay. You can say it's a doer pill. I don't think I want to talk to you guys about this because I know that most of you guys feel the same way as I do about this stuff. And I think that if we continue to talk and discuss these things, put this out into the universe, I think the more people become aware of it, the better. And at the end of the stream, we should talk about some things that we can do to maybe mitigate any of the negativity coming from this. Because again, I want a family. I don't want to not have a family. I want to have kids. I want my DNA and my legacy to move on. The last thing I want to do is put my mom and dad and make them never be fucking grandparents. Because I know my parents would be amazing grandparents and they deserve to have grandkids. I'm not saying I deserve to have kids, but I certainly want them, right? Also, back to this thing, guys. I don't know why. I would think that it would be more men having kids than women. Because technically a man can go have kids with like 5 different women. A woman can have 5 babies from 5 different men, but it's going to take her like 5 years. A dude can do that in like 1 week, right? So like that is strange. I think you guys can maybe think of some modern societal reasons as to why that's the case. We also might get into that in the rest of the stream. So Overall birth rates have plummeted for Americans over the past 5 decades, guys. Past 5 decades. So we're in a 5-decade-long streak, negatory streak here, right? Between 1976 and 2018, the mean number of children ever born per woman declined. And from 3 children to 2, according to reports authors. And then by 2019, the average female aged 15 to 49 had given birth to 1.3 children. The average male had fathered 0.9 kids. American women are also tending to have a first child later in life, the new study finds. Interesting. Could this be a point of data here? The average age of giving birth to a first child was about 24 years for women and 27 for men. And the probability a woman would have her first child by the age of 40 fell from 83% to 81%. Similar dip, blah, blah, blah. In fact, delayed childbearing, having a first child at age 35 or over, has increased 9-fold between this years. So the people that are having children, it appears that they're having it. There was a 9-fold increase, people doing that over the age of 35, which you could potentially say that could be a little scary because, you know, I think my mom had me when she was 31. And I think back then that was like considered a little old. Like, you guys realize the chance of like having a healthy baby significantly declines after like the age of like 32 or something like that for women. And like each year it's like even more of a substantial decline. Now, the crazy thing about that, we have technology, right? But and maybe this topic could be discussed later on the stream. But you guys know if like there's a baby that's born either like prematurely or something else, whatever, has some kind of like issues, they stick this baby in like an incubator, guys. Let me show you guys what this thing is. All right. Okay, this might be a little like triggering for some people, but all right, guys. So look at this, guys. So if you are a baby and you're born like prematurely and or you lack the sufficient if you're not a fully instantiated baby and you're lacking something that requires you to sustain life, they're gonna throw your ass in one of these things. All right, look at this shit. Like, look at this. Could you imagine? Okay, now here's the woo-woo part that's gonna come in. Okay, here's the woo-woo part. Could you imagine, guys, that you already have the traumatic experience of childbirth? Because, and I didn't know this, but apparently childbirth itself on the baby is traumatic. Like, there's blood everywhere. You're getting like forced out of like your comfy little nest for your mother that you're physically attached to, like physically with your umbilical cord. And there's blood and guts, rip and tear until it is done, right? It's like doom eternal all over the place. And you're a baby. This is like you're 1 second old. That's your first experience into the world, right? This traumatic, awful experience. But once it's over, you got your mom to come and cuddle you and take care of you and nurture you, and your father's there and all this and that. Well, not if you're a improperly formed baby. They're going to shove you one of these things for sometimes up to like weeks at a time, I believe. And apparently the amount of like psychological damage that can be done to a baby by just having to be shoved in one of these things, because you're never going to remember this stuff, guys. Do you guys remember when you were born? Of course not, right? But something to the child's subconscious and or, well, it's not the subconscious, it's the subconscious is information that you have access to that you aren't aware of unless you have to think about it. It's the unconscious trauma that you're going to have. And there are psychologists that discuss about this kind of stuff. There's a YouTube channel with this guy who's kind of funny to listen to. But anyway, there's actual literature on this, guys. There's literature on this that it can be detrimental to your mental health to be in just one of those things. Now, you're shoved in there, you're alone. And by the way, there's a study. Let me see if I can find this study too. There was a king, an English king, I believe. It was an English king. Okay, I don't know what king and how I can. I don't know what query to search for live, and so you guys might have to do it later on. But there was a king who wanted to do the study as to which language was the original language, right? Something stupid. And this is like hundreds of years ago. And he wanted to know which language was the original language. And how do you determine that? Well, his idea was, well, we'll just have a bunch of these babies and we'll take them away from their parents and we'll get nobody to interact with them at all. We're just going to feed them. So he had like nurses go in there and feed them when they needed to be fed, clean their diapers when they need to be cleaned. And that's it. Nobody talked to them. They told them not even to look at them in the eyes. Don't do anything to them. Right. Basically they got like no love. They got no love. They got no interaction. These babies didn't have anybody to mirror them because when your mom and your dad are like, when you're making like a face and your parents make a face back, it's called mirroring. That's how your parents instill into you that you exist by playing games with you, like peekaboo, all that kind of stuff. Right. They didn't have any of those interactions. No interactions at all. They just got fed and then that was it. Got their asses wiped. Those babies all died. Right. So it's similar to being in one of these things. This is modern society. This is a part of modern society. We could say, and I don't know how we got into baby cages over here, but we could say that modern society has had quite of a strange effect, not just from the Industrial Revolution, but also from technology itself. So apparently, like, you can save some babies that might have not been born, but also these people might end up being like sociopathic or some other kind of thing, and they may as well wish they were never born anyway. Those are cheaper than I thought. Net $250. What the fuck? Woo! Internet's starting to get bad, guys. Can you buy those online? I guess you can, dude. Eric in the house. What up, dude? Gents have to jump off. It's being recorded. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Vet your midwife. For sure. For sure, dude. All right. So that's birth rates. Birth rates are declining. And not only are birth rates declining, guys, so are... Do you guys want to take a guess what is also declining other than birth rates? Before I show the evidence, guys. That's right. Fertility rates are also declining, guys. So let's and this is when did this article take place? December 5th, 2022. So about 7 months ago. Let's read the overview. When the economy takes a downward turn, couples often temporarily put off having children. But in the years following the Great Recession, births never rebounded. Instead, fertility has largely continued to follow a downward trajectory across the country. And it's also not just the United States. This is all Western countries, right? Falling to a record low in 2020. So fertility rates were a record low in 2020. I'm noticing too, Goody. I'm noticing too. State budgets have started to feel the effects of this long-term decline. The future course of fertility represents a key source of fiscal uncertainty for states, as smaller working age populations may eventually threaten tax bases. On the other hand, you guys saw the stream about all the job applications. I mean, we got two different contradictory pieces of evidence here, guys. So here we are a year later, still talking about kind of the same topic. Shit still doesn't fucking make sense. I mean, it kind of does if you think about it and you don't say the things that you're not supposed to say on the YouTubes, but I didn't mention that part, right? Christian Soto says it's all the birth control in the drinking water. Treatment plants can't filter it out. I think that actually mentioned that in this article. Let's look at some of these stats here first. 43 states record their lowest for general fertility rate, which represents annual births, 1 per thousand, blah, 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 blah. Dakota. Fertility steady decline. Okay, so here's a graph. So we had like dang, Utah. Utah's got a good fertility rate. Still got one of the best ones. What's this blue one right here? Oh, just the United States in general. Where's Florida? Florida man, right on the lower end of the spectrum over here. All right, where's Mississippi? Is Mississippi up there? Hawaii, Georgia, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska. I don't see Louisiana either. I don't know. Guess we don't count. Guess we don't count. Fertility among Hispanics has historically far exceeded that of non-Hispanics, which is primarily attributed to factors related to immigrant women. Could you specify? Could you clarify what that means? In recent years, however, Hispanic fertility has fallen nationwide to levels more in line with other groups. I wonder if that's because they're living in the United States and because the United States is a cesspool of shit that makes you sick. A drop-off in immigration from Mexico played a major role in the drop of fertility of a native-born Hispanics also decreased. Okay, so native-born Hispanics in Mexico also decreased. Domestic migrants, immigration from abroad, blah, blah, blah. Yep. We don't care about budgets, revenue. I mean, a lot of this article has to do with like revenue and spending. But, so we're going to decline more than 4.4% between now and 2030. I don't know. I would assume it'd be more than that. Point of the matter is, guys, it ain't just birth rates that are declining. It's fertility rates declining too, right? So before I get on to the next topic, back to what I was originally, to bring it all together, what I was originally talking at the beginning of the stream, family. I mean, not only can I comfortably say that families are no longer now, the normality of families no longer exists now in the same way it did 2003. I can almost be sure when I say that definitely also will be the case in 2043. But I will add on top of that, there might not even be families, guys. They just eventually. I'm not saying that by the time 2043 comes around, it's all going to be over, but I mean, it doesn't seem to be on people's agenda anymore, at the very least, right? And it looks like the ones that it is on the agenda for might be having more of an issue as time goes forward with having that to come to fruition. It is turning the frogs XAE. Frog emojis. Gee, wonder what's in Utah. Mormons. Gee, wonder why Netflix did a piece on Mormons. Those can't be correlated at all. No, not possible. No, most certainly can't be correlated, right? Most certainly cannot be correlated. So that was family. Family, I believe, is one thing that has been severely screwed in modern society, right? Now, the second thing I want to discuss is kind of on the way to achieving a family. And that would just be dating, courtship. Now, I wanted to go on a rant about how different dating is now than, like, I would even say like 5 years ago. But I'd rather just do I want to do Delusion calculator. I want to show a clip from Fresh and Fit. I want to show a Delusion calculator clip. And if you guys know a specific one of the episodes they have with the Delusion calculator, let me know. Nick in the house. Yeah, that's why we make our own families. Fuck yeah, brother. Fuck yeah. Nice shirt, by the way. Where did you get it from? I got it from Zara, my dude. It was like 20-something bucks. It's really comfy. So in Miami, it's really hot and humid. And it's like, I don't know if you can't tell, but it's like, can you see my hand through here? You guys at least going to be able to see my fingers, right? It's like open cotton. So like, it's almost like not wearing a shirt. Eagle Cloud. Glasses, purple, yellow, diamond. Colon. All right. What is this? Is that some kind of was that some kind of like CSS attribute for what is going on? All right, let's find one of these Delusion calculators. Okay, let's do this one. Now this is one that's not even on their channel, but let's do it's emoji that I can't see. I can't see it in StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard doesn't like emoji. Streamer doesn't like emoji. Yes, the silk shirts are easy to breathe. I mean, it's not silk, it's like cotton or something, but all right, this is sorry guys, got derailed there for a second. So this is not from Fresh and Fit's actual channel. This is from a different channel, but it looked like it was a good one. So let me let's watch this. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Fresh and Fit podcast, they are a podcast in Miami, Florida as well. I actually know these two gentlemen. I've been inside the I'm not like super cool with them or anything, so don't get it twisted, okay? But I've been in this room several times, and so I know these people, right? The premises of their show has been mislabeled a lot of things: toxic masculinity, misogyny, all this other stuff. But the truth is, both those two dudes, actually every guy, even including people in the cast, they're good-hearted people. And yeah, sometimes I believe they put on somewhat of a show for entertainment because it's a fucking podcast and you gotta have entertainment, right? But the premises of their show, what they actually are trying to do is spread the message to young men, especially Zoomers, who have no idea how it is like dealing with the modern woman. I mean, Zoomers are the ones out there like what are those games where it's like they're like, it's like girls, it's basically like OnlyFans. It's over glamorized sex work. Their girls are like eating, like people are like paying like 99 cents to have like emojis getting shot into their mouth and stuff. Jesus Christ. Let's just play this before I have a heart attack over here.
Calculator. Yeah. As you guys know, we have a calculator for all our new viewers here. It's called the Female Delusion Calculator. Welcome, guys. And this calculator, ladies, is probably the most accurate representation of males in the United States. It goes off of the U.S. Census Bureau and the National Center for Health Statistics. So we're going to statistically see how common your guy is. So we're going to start with Miss unsettling. So you want your guy to be $65K per year, right?
Max.
Okay. Wait, max?
Well, like,
what's the bare minimum?
It was 50 to 65. That's why.
Okay, so bare minimum is 50?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give it to you. 50,000. Okay. What's the age range that you want him to be?
How old am I? So
I know it's been a while.
29 to 34.
You don't know your age?
No, I'm saying like how
34, Chris.
Not 50. Hey.
34? Okay, that's a tight window.
Check about it.
Okay. What race do you want him to be?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, you're equal opportunity employer?
Mm-hmm.
You like Asians too?
I mean, if it's like the Asian that's like go to the gym, they got the tats and all that stuff.
No. His name is Ming Ling.
Yakuza?
I talk to you like this. You break, you buy. You day with the break, you buy, nigga?
Okay, so you can put Black, Hispanic, and
Latino.
I would do a
white guys?
I would do a snow bunny. I did one in college.
Snow bunny? Snow bunny?
Yeah.
Yo, what is this?
Whose business is this, bro? All right, height, we know that. That's 6'1".
Yeah.
No, she'll do a white dude. Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. She won't do a break you by, though. All right, yeah, 6'1"?
6'1" minimum, yeah.
Okay. Do you care if he owns or rents?
He can rent right now.
Okay.
To own.
So we'll just leave it. It doesn't matter to her. Schooling. What do you want his education to be?
I would like a bachelor's. That would be
Bachelor's?
nice.
Okay.
He said nigga.
All right. Can he be obese?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Mo.
All right, Mo. Can he be married?
No.
Okay. And then real quick, before we pull this calculator up, I want to write down your stats real quick, Miss Kazakhstan. What do you want your guy to be? Income, you said $100,000 per year?
Yeah.
5'10"?
Sure, at
And then
least.
what do you want his race to be?
White, preferably.
White, okay. And then and I'm doing this so she doesn't cheat on the thing. And then what education level do you want him to be?
Bachelor's.
Yeah.
Education doesn't matter,
Okay.
really.
So he could be no education?
Sure, if he's successful. You can be successful without education.
All right, give us
believe
your
it or
bare
not.
minimum though.
Bachelor.
Bachelor?
Sure.
Okay. And then can he be married?
No.
No.
Sorry, Mo.
And can he be obese?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Sorry, Mo.
All right. So we got age range for him, by the way.
What's that? Oh, age.
Yeah, age range.
32, 36.
22?
32.
30.
Oh,
32.
32, 36.
32 to 36?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This is amazing. This is going to be good. All right. Let's find out how prevalent
It's going to be none.
her guy is. Go ahead. Find out.
Oh gosh, they're bringing out.
Russia is loading.
Spartans!
All right.
Hilarious.
There you
Let's see.
go.
Oh, you scored a perfect.
So I don't, if you guys haven't caught on, so there's several of these calculators, right? But they have a web application that can, it's called the female delusional calculator, right? These girls are out here like stating all of these attributes and men that they want, and I don't know if you've seen how these girls look. Well, we'll not talk about that part, but anyway, essentially, guys, the kind of guy that this girl is looking for, based off of her criteria, is 0.0104% of the population, right? It might be double that if she included married men or something like that, right? So that's what's going on with this, okay? If you couldn't tell.
5 out of 5
Cat bags.
cat bags. So the likelihood of you being single is very high. Now, and you know what the funny part is? We haven't even accounted for if he's handsome, charming,
Tattoos.
charismatic, tattoos like you want.
It smells.
This is just
Yeah, it's good points. Good points. Nick says, I joined your group over a year ago and watched a few videos on where to move. You mentioned Jacksonville. Moved to Jackson Beach 6 months ago. Best move of my life. Places I've been coming. Dude, really? It's good to know, man, because I'm actually looking to move here pretty soon in the next 6 months. And Jacksonville, because it's quiet, right? It's quiet. That's one of those places I would say I have to stay in Florida due to the fact that I'm an agent of the NSA, but I have to stay in Florida because of that reason. And I'm looking at other places. Jacksonville was like, I haven't been there other than driving through it and stopping a couple times, but I actually want to go spend like a weekend there. Actually, I'm not going to mention the other places that I'm going to move because, well, some of you guys might know why. Let me get on with the delusion.
based off of the raw numbers of how likely this guy is. So let me ask you a question. This guy is fairly rare. Do you think he's going to pick you at 30 plus years old by the time you meet him, probably with 2 kids, over another girl?
Yes. Like,
Okay.
what, like,
Oh my God.
you
Yes, even in the
have
face of
confidence
statistical-
in yourself. Like, at the end of the day, no other bitch is gonna take what's for me. If it's for me, I'm gonna get it. Okay, so
Manifest.com. Sign up right there. For your dream man. Okay.
Bro, even in the face of statistical, no chances, very little chance.
What is your zodiac sign, though?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, you're
I'm a Leo.
Oh, shit.
I'm a Leo.
Are you gonna manifest him?
100%.
He's just gonna come. He's just gonna be there, like this man will come to me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pray to God about it. You know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go
How
ahead and
many
punch in
bags
Miss
do I get?
Kazakhstan's numbers.
Oh God.
Let's see how common
other
her
one.
guy is. It's $100,000,
100K.
100K, right? And then her age range is 32 to 36.
No, 30.
Oh, no, you said 32 to 36.
I said 30 to 36.
You know, we'll give it to
You
you.
heard it wrong.
We'll give it to you.
No, we heard it right.
Yeah, we heard it right, but it's fine. You seeing that your dreams are being destroyed as well. Okay, 36. Well, you said race white only, right?
Mhm.
You don't dabble in the dark?
Hispanic, sure.
It's okay. I don't dabble in the dark either. Don't feel bad.
No, I like Hispanic guys. It's
Okay,
just
we'll
they're
do
not
Hispanic.
only
Click.
for play.
click Hispanic. Okay. And then we're gonna do height here. You said 5'10".
Sure.
Okay. 5'10", and then you don't care if he owns or rents.
No.
Okay, bachelor's degree. He can't be obese. All right, let's find out how common her guy is. Yeah, no married guys. Go ahead.
Let's see. You're laughing already. Stop laughing, my gosh. I haven't finished yet.
Oh shit! Did she break the fucking calculator? Oh, and your guy also is. You scored it. Looks
5 cat bags.
yeah, I think 5 cat bags
mine's-
as well.
Where?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
there you go.
It's coming. All right, so yeah, man. You might as well get a dog as well.
I'd
Invest in
rather
Chewy.
get a dog.
All right. So I think you guys are the point of that, right? I think that was enough to portray the point. So like that's what you're dealing with in modern dating is a lot of like delusional thinking. And I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb here and say a majority of that is on the side of the females, not so much the males. We could get into that later on if you want. Maxinitas 1 in 1,000. Lamau. Yeah, OPSEC. Maxine just says, when will they add credit score to the calculator? I don't know, but they should, and probably be even half of what it currently is. Nick says, coming from Miami, you'll think this is quiet and chill. I'd recommend the beach, though. It's cheap. You'll be high on the totem pole here. It's down to earth. Has a little southern influence. So just like, well, we're not going to mention any other places. Lots of physically active people definitely trying to raise a family here. Good girl, guy ratio in bars. Yeah, I'd preferably not want to raise my family in Miami, Florida, because honestly, guys, Miami's of the devil. It's not so bad when you acclimate and you just come to realize if you just start to treat a majority of people that you interact with here as if they're like NPC number 7210, and you can look and recognize, hey, that's an NPC. It gets a lot easier. But I don't want my children having to interact with NPCs all day long. That's for sure. That, God, we're gonna have to save. You know, guys, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of the stream because it has gone on. We're already almost at 46 minutes. And I still have a lot of things I want to cover. So you know what? I will do that, guys. I'll do that. And we'll continue the stream. I'm actually not doing a webinar tomorrow. So I can hopefully do the stream tomorrow. I lost the key to my jet ski. So hopefully I can go get that tomorrow. So if I do, actually, I might go out and ride. But if not tomorrow, then Wednesday, guys. So, and if you're watching the replay or you're watching live now or whatever, if you thought of anything that I didn't talk about so far, go ahead and leave a comment. And or anything that you think that I might want to talk about, I'll tell you guys what else on the list. So I'm not even halfway done dating. So we went over family, and honestly, we could have covered more family. I'm not even halfway done dating, and we have career, education, and finally consumerism, right? Because I'm gonna try to tie all this into consumerism. Yes, I realize I too like to consume, but I'm gonna say that consumerism, we're gonna invert the pyramid. This consumerism is gonna be at the top of the pyramid. Well, actually, it's probably gonna be considered. We can guess, and if you consider this the Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid, it's gonna be at the bottom. Okay. I hope you guys got something out of this. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right.